I would love to call Mozart. Oh, I would love to call him. For so many reasons. I think, to be honest, I would rather go and play pool with him and go gamble with him than talk about his works, because that's so much fun with him, I'm sure.
Violinist Caroline Wiedmann with conductor Louis Langret and Camerata Salzburg.
We are very proud of where we are as a Mozarteum in this sort of music, and one advantage I would venture to suggest we have vis-a-vis some of the classical orchestras is that this music is really, it's a lazy phrase to say, in our bones, but played a lot by us.
Oh my God, I think I just would love to just enjoy his voice and to know Mozart as a person, to know what is the meaning behind the music, and to have a wine with him together. That would be fantastic.
They come from around the world, leading musicians invited by the Mozarteum Foundation to celebrate Mozart, including the Mozarteum Orchestra's chief conductor, Ivor Bolton.
If you develop an interest for classical music, you're never bored in life.
The piano on which I am performing here in Salzburg, we believe that this is the piano that belonged to Mozart. And to sit down at a piano like that and look at the little concavities of the keys and think of his fingers on those keys is certainly a recipe for goosebumps.
I've seen Mozart's own writing before, but when you enter these rooms, it's like a shock. You think it is so important. I'm so small. This is so highly secured. Everything is controlled. We have this climate. We have different alarms, lots of codes and keys, and it's really very impressive and frightening in the beginning.
First, a Sunday morning visit to the Dom, the massive cathedral that has been the center of religious life here in Salzburg for hundreds of years. Mozart wrote and performed music for religious services here in the Dom. It was part of his job as servant, concertmaster and composer in the service of the Prince Archbishop of Salzburg. And if you attended Mass here one Sunday morning in the fall of 1776, when Mozart was 20 years old, you would have been among the first listeners anywhere to have heard this Mass, sounding very much like it does here. In the upper floor apartment where Mozart was born here in Salzburg, visitors can find firsthand some of Mozart's instruments, books and other belongings that help tell the story of his life.
Here there is his silk wallet. He used this, I think, for carrying letters with him, maybe also a little bit of money. And for me it tells many stories, because everybody knows that Mozart many times had problems with money.
The surprises in Mozart are never overt. Everything feels natural, inevitable, almost that's the way it should be, except that it's also totally unpredictable.
We own several of Mozart's most famous pieces, the autographed manuscripts, including the Rondo alla Turca. And we know that this is the very instrument that Mozart used for his concertos. It's much smaller than the modern grand piano. It has an entirely different sound from the modern instrument.
My mother comes from Slovenia, and as a child we always went by train in summertime to Slovenia through Salzburg, and I always said, oh, Salzburg, this is so fantastic, because it's Mozart's town. course, then you are on stage, and it is something.
You live in hotel rooms, your jet lag is permanent.
Louis Langré, conductor of Camerata Salzburg.
Sometimes you arrive completely exhausted and you arrive in rehearsal and music is there. And it gives you so much deep joy that you don't feel the hours waiting because the plane was delayed. You're in the middle of art, of the essence of life.
They have come from around the world to Salzburg to celebrate Mozart. The Mozart Festival special event from APM, American Public Media, produced in association with Houston Public Media in cooperation with ORF Austrian Radio, presented by the Mozarteum Foundation of Salzburg. For the Mozart Festival from Salzburg, Austria, I'm Hannes Eichmann. This is APM, American Public Media.